Greetings from Washington, D.C. This is Peter Thomas, the General Counsel of NAAOP. Wanted to give an update of where we stand just before Thanksgiving. The 2020 elections have now come and gone, and we'll have a new president, Joe Biden, and new congressmen and senators coming into Washington. The leadership does not appear to have changed much, but the Democrats did lose seats in the House, although Nancy Pelosi will continue to be the Speaker of the House and run the floor and bring to the floor the bills that she wants to bring to the floor. And in the Senate, the likely result is that Mitch McConnell will continue to be the majority leader, although it's not clear. There's a Georgia runoff election on January the 5th, and that will largely determine who runs the Senate. If the Democrats are successful, as unlikely as it may be, in winning both of those elections in Georgia, the bottom line is that Kamala Harris will be the new vice president, will be the deciding vote, and the Democrats will run the Senate. That means that Chuck Schumer will probably become the majority leader and will appoint all of the chairs of the committees, all Democratic senators instead of Republicans, and Democrats will largely run the show. Now, in both House and Senate, that doesn't mean that whatever Joe Biden wants, he'll get. Those are very, very close margins in the House and Senate, and it's expected that they'll have to compromise. There'll be a fair amount of bipartisanship that's necessary in order to get anything really through the Congress and onto the president's desk. So the one exception is if both Georgia races turn Democrat, and Chuck Schumer runs the Senate, they can employ the reconciliation process and pass a bill with 51 votes. That's something that would avoid the 60-vote filibuster, and it's an important element that people should recognize. There's a number of policies that the Biden administration could get through reconciliation that currently would not go through if Mitch McConnell remains the majority leader in the Senate. So moving on to a couple of very specific policies around orthotics and prosthetics. Prior authorization has been in effect in 4 states since September 1st, and on December 1st, that program will go nationwide. My understanding is that from some of the folks I've spoken with in the field, prior authorization is working out better than expected. The turnaround time on approvals for prior auth have been fairly quick. And there is some protection from audits after the fact. Once you get paid, you're more likely to keep that payment as a result of some kind of post-payment review. So December 1st is the date that program goes nationwide, and we would encourage people to contact NAAOP if they're having problems with that program. Of course, it applies only to about 6 codes under the lower limb prosthetic benefit. Next is competitive bidding. Competitive bidding of off-the-shelf orthoses goes into effect on January 1, 2021 in 127 competitive bidding areas. That's a pretty significant swath of the United States, and we still are getting dribs and drabs of information about how that program will be run. The CMS has created a situation where they've really not given providers much time to adjust to this new program. But that goes live on January 1 of 2021. And it impacts 23 knee and back orthotic codes, OTS orthotic codes. Next is the fly-in. The NAAOP has, for a long time, wanted to do a fly-in to Washington to meet with legislators and ultimately conduct congressional visits with its membership and its leadership. We've been reluctant to do that because there is a significant contribution or capital that's necessary to secure a hotel. Now with the pandemic, the fact is that virtual visits are a typical thing. Staff on Capitol Hill routinely meet with individuals telephonically or even through video conference, and really become fairly normal. So NAAOP decided to conduct a pilot fly-in in December. Starting this year, we're going to bring in about 20 people, board members, all of our fellows that have worked with NAAOP in past summers, and some select other members with connections to committee leadership. And we'll be conducting a series of over 50, maybe 60 visits with Capitol Hill to promote our agenda. The key elements of our agenda include the ONP Patient-Centered Care Act, S4503, and the AAA Act, which the Amputee Coalition has promoted, which is S4343. Both of those pieces of legislation can be found on the NAAOP website. We encourage you to take a look at them, and we encourage you to contact your members of Congress for them to co-sponsor these bills. It's not clear whether whether the Congress will be able to get any major piece of legislation through at the end of this year, meaning in December. They will have to fund the federal government, but then the question is whether they can pass a COVID relief package or whether that gets pushed into the new year. We'll be following that closely and trying to get whatever we can get, along with our alliance partners and AOPA taking the lead on the ONP Patient-Centered Care Act to try to achieve those legislative goals. Finally, let me say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. It's been a very tough year, including for my family. We'll be 5 around the table this year instead of 20, immediate family. And we're looking forward to a new experience. We wish you all the best, and to be thankful for what you have. We certainly are thankful for what we have. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk with you in December. Thank you.